Hi, my name is Bob, and I was asked to talk about the impact that Reformers Unanimous has had on my life in the last 2 years. And what I'd like to do is start out by giving some background on me and then talk about the introduction with what's going on with RU and what impact it's had on me. So my background has been about 30 years of addiction, in addiction world, and a lot of different programs, a lot of different reasons. And, as talking to people out there, that, for instance, Reformers Unanimous has young members, has older members, and I've been in, since I've been there, I've had 23 years of sobriety now, and so there's a lot of different programs that I've been introduced to, but the blessing of this one has been it's a Christ-centered, loving organization that, as you heard earlier, is large and throughout the world, and it's been very exciting. The difference seems to be about that, and it's all about Christ-centered, so it took me a long time to figure out that I couldn't do the things that I needed to do to change my life. And what also had to impact me was the pain and addiction that I caused people around me. One of the things I love about this organization is it doesn't dwell on what was, and the pains and the uglies and all those things. We deal with that, we talk about that, but at the end of the day, we need to deal with now and what's happening and what's going to happen. And for any change to be done, it's going to be Christ and it's not going to be Bob. And for anybody that's going to be watching this video, I'd like to touch a lot of hearts about that and what God's done for me through this program. So it was about 2 years ago, and just to give you an idea of who I think should be involved with this program is pretty much everybody I know. Because the bottom line is what it does is guide us to Christ and a richer, stronger relationship with Him, and that's everything. That's the only thing that's going to change me, right? And it can be anything. It can be drugs, booze, lust, selfishness, anger, all these different things. And what I've noticed is that, the people in addictions, but just the people in general have a self-focus. Bob did. Still does, still fights through that. But a self-focus that is painful and not of God so much. And God would have me rather spend time worrying about Him. And something I learned here early on was the pecking order, right? And I need to have that pounded into me because it's God, other people, my family in particular, than me. And I keep clawing my way to the top sometimes, and God says, don't do that. And I've got loving people here that will share with me that, Bob, you might want to stop, climbing the ladder. I'm not sure where I learned the trait of when pressure's coming at me, I look for escapes, right? I don't like facing certain pressures, certain things coming at me. I'll go over it, I'll go under it, I'll go sideways, I'll do a lot of different things, but I'll run from it. Right? And where that came in my upbringing, it really doesn't matter so much. But what God teaches me, and this program's been awesome in helping me with that, is to go at that problem with His strength, with His love, and His direction. Right? That just kind of comes in. So before I have my friend tell me it's 5 minutes, I'm going to get to what I'm trying to get to is coming into this program, what I found was it wasn't a matter of what addiction was going on. It was a matter of that Christ was the answer and the only answer. And in the simplicity of that, but also the part that is so good about this program is that when you come in, there's a bunch of people that care on you, love on you, pray on you, and things that you need done. The reason I got involved with it and I knew about it was I was into biblical counseling, and every time I went to a class down in Indiana, I saw this little booth with Reformers Unanimous. And so I checked out some groups, and this one came out, and it was amazing. And the bit about the focus that I kept seeing was that I needed to be conformed to the image of Jesus Christ, right? And what they taught me was the same thing my mentors told me straight off the bat. Was, Bob, spend time in the Word of God, in prayer and meditation on that. We can do journaling. We can do a lot of different things. But the bottom line is, if I don't renew my mind on a daily basis, right? One of the verses that most affected me was Galatians 2:20. And it was critical for me. But I have been crucified with Christ. I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. Life I now live, I live by faith in the Son of God, who died for me and who loved me. And that was hard for me to get a grasp on. But the main purpose of this talk is to share what RU has done. It's guided me to closer walk with Christ through talking. And this is how it happens. For me, it did. Through talking way too much, talk, but you got to come to figure out why I'm talking about that. But a lot of talking. And the other thing was that working through challenges that guide me into knowing Christ and His amazing love through memorization, some other things. And then through the teaching, which is amazingly uplifting and totally biblical. And different things that had gotten to me from that teaching was, does God ask me, do you love me more than these things in the world? And that I'm fighting the world, I'm fighting my flesh, and I'm fighting Satan. And I need the friendships, I need the prayers, I need the encouragement, sometimes the accountability that we find here. And I'm just blessed out of my mind. And then one other thing that I'll close on that I see is so critical, especially when addictions come in and the pain that causes families and churches and different things, is Satan wants to take our hope, right? And that you'll never change. You've been doing this for X amount of years. You're never going to do this. You're always going to react this way. Well, the thing that can change is Christ, and Christ can change me. He made me. He loves me. He delights in me. You guys told me that. But the hope is everything. Day in and day out, that hope is from Him. And His mercies are new every day. And I need Him every day. And we're honest and we're strong and we keep things within groups and talking, but the guiding and the guidance and the love and the prayers, that's what stands out about Reformers Unanimous in comparison with any other organization I've been involved with. And I'm just grateful to God. I'm humbled by it. And I'm blessed by my family here. Thank you.